everybody's day going? This is Rick Sparrow with eXp Realty here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And I'm putting a video up regarding foreclosures or notice of default, which is preliminary to a foreclosure. And the reason I feel like I need to put a video up is there's options. And not everybody really knows what those options are. In 2008, 2009, even into 2010, foreclosures were rampant. It felt like everybody was stumbling into foreclosure. I personally knew nothing about real estate back then. I fell victim to the foreclosure. And I fell victim to it, and not a victim, I mean, it's not a victim mentality. It's, I knew no better. I didn't know there was options. And back in 08, 09, maybe there wasn't the options we have today. Today, there's a lot of options to really get around it and get away from the foreclosure process. Back then, I know what a lot of people are going through today. I didn't answer my door. I didn't check my mail. I grabbed the mail, threw it away. I didn't open it. Didn't answer the phone. You just kind of avoid everybody because, well, it's kind of embarrassing. I mean, you're losing your home. You're losing something that you worked so hard to get. And I can't say no fault to my own because I obviously signed the contract. I signed the purchase agreement and I agreed to the payments that I was, well, defaulting on. But with that said, I put myself in a predicament that I didn't think there was a way out of besides sheer avoidance and hopefully it's just gonna go away. It doesn't. It don't. It was a long process back then just because there were so many homes going through that process. But I never reached out to anybody. I never asked what options were or how can I get around this. I didn't. I took it on the chin, kept it quiet, and just kind of hid from everybody until I came home one day and my locks were changed on the front door. That was just kind of an embarrassing moment. You walk up, you see new doorknobs on there, and you just kind of turn around and stroll on, go about your day like nothing happened. But deep inside, it's a gut punch that I wish upon no one. We're not where we were in 08 now. Is there foreclosures? Absolutely. There's foreclosures all the time. Is there a prediction there's going to be mass foreclosures coming? Some people say yes. Most people say no. There's programs in place to prevent foreclosures from happening, or there's programs to get out of them if people know about them. If you don't know about how to get out of it, yeah, you're going to be me. You're going to avoid phone calls. You're going to assume everybody that says hello to you is going to want to talk to you about your house. Every phone call is stripping you of what you've worked so hard for. It almost becomes a pride thing. I can't speak to the females. I can only speak to how I felt and how guys feel. It's pride. It's very defeating. But with the programs that are in place today, that can all be avoided. There is so much equity in everybody's homes right now. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying 100% of the homes have equity. They don't. But a large majority with the economical gains in the housing industry coming into 2022, in 2022, the housing market's going to continue to rise. That means your home's going to continue to gain value. That means you have options to get out without going through the default process, without going through the foreclosure process, without going the emotional strain and the weight that it puts on the family, because it does. It starts to create an emotional unsettling in the family because, well, let's face it, your home's being taken from you. With that, let's discuss some of the options to really circumvent, to get around this foreclosure process. It begins with an NOD, which is a notice of a default, which will show up in the mail. Whether it's first class, it's delivered, it's just regular mail. It's going to show up stating that you're defaulting on your loan. That typically does not come as a surprise because the person receiving the letter is the person that's writing the checks for the house payment. You know you're not making the payment. I knew I wasn't making the payment. But that letter is kind of a heads up. That process is about to begin. Your first step is get a loan modification. You can reach out to your lender and apply for a loan modification. If you apply for a loan modification, the federal and state laws prohibit a foreclosure while your modification is in review. So that's one way to kind of pause the process. A modification, the lender adjusts the terms, the loan. They make adjustments. It's simply that. It's a modification of your loan. So it's a one way to get your loan where it becomes more affordable where you're able to catch back up. And then there's Making Home Affordable. It's a government program. Well, there's multiple government programs that really help you lower your mortgage payment. Whether it's adjust interest rates, it's stretch the term of your loan out over a longer period of time to get that that payment down. There is, again, that's one other program which is a government program to help with that process. The loan modification process is very similar to your application process. It requires a lot of paperwork, a lot of questions. Where there's a kicker, a little bit of a change for a loan modification, you have to explain and justify how you got into this position. Whatever it is, whether it's you lost your job, it's divorce, it's you took a pay decrease, whatever it is, you have to be able to sit down and explain and justify what put you in this situation. So that's kind of, it's the same as your loan application with a kicker. Second option you have is you can file bankruptcy. Not recommended, but it's an option. Even though you file bankruptcy, a lender can still appeal to the courts to push through with the foreclosure process. Even if they appeal the court, it still buys you a couple months. And again, in today's market, time is money. That 2 months can be all you need. With that, you could also file Chapter 7, which discharges all your debt. It's an option. You see people do it all the time. Chapter 13 is, if you're going to have to file it, probably the better route to go, I guess you would say, on keeping up with your pride, because you're still paying off your debt. You're just consolidating everything to one payment that is agreed upon between the court system and, I guess, probably your lender. But again, it consolidates everything to one payment where it's affordable. Your third is a short sale. The short sale is only available if you owe more than the home is worth. So basically, are you upside down on that loan? For this one, your lender has to approve it. And most of the time, and today, it's going to be hard to get a lender to approve it, just for the fact that there is equity in pretty much a large majority of homes. There is two hardships that are acceptable when it comes to a short sale. Proof of lower income. I mean, again, you have to prove it. You just can't show up and say it. You got to be able to show it. Pay stubs. Or mandatory job relocation. Again, letter of transfer, letter from your employer stating that you are moving. And then fourth is deed in lieu of foreclosure, which most lenders, they're not going to approve a deed in lieu. That is really hard to say. Deed in lieu of foreclosure. They are not going to approve it because now they're taking the legal responsibility of it. So they will typically always shy away from that. The fifth and the best option that our market is offering today, list your home with me. I mean, that's simple. You're not going to foreclose. You're not going to lose it. I'm not going to sit here and say all, but most people that are getting NODs right now, a notice of default, they have equity. Put your home on the market. Sell it, take your equity, pay off the loan, move on to a new home. Move on to something smaller. Move on to something more affordable. Selling your home right now is the easiest way out of a foreclosure. Again, in 2008, I knew nothing about the process. I didn't even know selling the home at my first NOD was an option. But it is, especially in today's market. Your home has probably got 10, 20, 40% equity in it, that'll pay your loan off. That'll give you a little extra money to move, put a down payment on something. Again, something smaller, something more affordable, something that is within your means of living based off what the COVID environment has done to your financial situation. It's put a lot of people in tough times, but there is ways out. Again, you can list with me, we can sell it, pay it off, and get you into a new home. So there is options. Those are 5 viable options, with number 1 probably being the first one you'd want to go to. Just reach out to your lender. Let's get you a loan modification. I would probably bypass 2, 3, 4 and just list it. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you sell it. I'm here to help you get the most equity out of your home possible and get you into something new. So if you have more questions regarding foreclosure process, the NODs that you're receiving in the mail, how can we get around it, reach out to myself. You can go to ricksparrow.com. Again, that's ricksparrow.com. Or you can text me, call me, 805-423-5810. Or you can email me at Ricksparrowsellsvegas@gmail.com. Fastest way, just call me. Let's clear up your NODs or clear up your foreclosure process. Let's get your home sold. Let's get you into a new one, something more affordable. You know the YouTube routine. You know how it goes. To find more information or keep up on the real estate market, make sure you do all 3. Subscribe to the channel, like, follow, all that good stuff. Turn on your notifications and tune in. With that, I'm Rick Sparrow with eXp Realty, and I'm looking forward to helping you get your next house. Have a wonderful day.